and welcome back to Top Dogs. Today we're going to be discussing one of the most important topics when it comes to our lives. What is it we want to accomplish? Do we have goals that we want to reach before we move on to the afterlife? Or what legacy we want to leave behind? Sit back, relax, and join us as we talk about our life goals, all-time desires, and accomplishment. This is episode 78, Bucket List. Yeah, yeah! Hello everyone, I'm Arcadad.
And I'm Whiplash Wolf.
I'm Sakura.
And I'm Kit Klawson.
Look at my heart rate. It kept going up. So like 52.
Bro, calm down.
So stoked.
It's okay.
Jeez.
It's okay.
Stream, you're gonna... Like you're doing some heavy workouts right now, oh my god.
163. It keeps going.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
My,
all right,
my
anyways.
boy.
Malfunction. Alright, so...
I mean, if I don't respond in the next 30 seconds, you'll know.
Sure, right.
I come back and answer.
Oh my god.
So before stream kicks the bucket, what is a...
I can't.
Dude, that was like the most perfect segue ever. That was so good.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Thank you. I just put that.
All right, go ahead. So why don't you get us started with a question? The first point we want to talk about.
That was the first point. What is a bucket list to each of you? Why do you think it's important to have one?
I think you go first, stream. You're the one over here excited.
Okay. I wanted to calm down and let you answer before I go into my part. So a bucket list is a list of things you want to get done before you reach your final days. Now, everybody's bucket list is a little bit different, but inspiring to do something exciting is one of the few of many things that can keep you going in life. I think having that sense of fulfillment is really important. It's a way to give your life a meaning, and you should definitely set up some goals for yourself because life is really difficult, but it can also be really amazing. It depends on what you do. What is your take, Whiplash, on this?
Yeah, a bucket list is you set a goals that you've been wanting to do, even like maybe from when you're a kid to maybe you're a young adult to adult, something you've always wanted to do in your life, and then possibly you get the chance to finally do it and you want to experience it. It possibly could be exploring the world, it could be going to a city, going to a country, going to accomplishing if you want to be a doctor, going to college, something that makes you happy and it's a huge chunk of your life or a huge possibility for you to actually do that thing that you want to do. Well, what was that movie called? The Bucket List? That movie was sad, actually.
Yes, that was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
I always watch that movie. If you guys never seen the movie, definitely take a chance to watch it. It's wholesome and tearful.
What about you, Sakura?
A bucket list is exactly everything that these guys have explained, but it can be more than just traveling or doing something simple. Like there's people out there who want to jump out of a plane or go diving into a cave or scuba or anything like that. So it doesn't have to be just something like, okay, I'm just going to go out today, I'm going to go travel halfway across the world. It can be something adrenaline encouraging, something you've always wanted to do but you've never in your life could bring yourself to do it, and when mortality hits it's just like, okay, I got to do these things. So definitely encourage, a lot of that when, you're thinking of a bucket list.
I don't actually have a bucket list. That's one of the reasons why I'm not participating in this discussion as active as the rest of, because I don't have a bucket list. My husband has been on my mind a lot lately. As we record this, yesterday was the anniversary of his passing. One of the things on his bucket list was to get a tattoo. So we actually had matching tattoos.
Oh,
that's cute.
What's something that is still on your bucket list that you've not completed yet? Whether it's normal or if it's crazy.
let you go ahead, Whiplash.
I don't have like too many like crazy things on my bucket list. To be fair, like most of mine kind of like revolve around me going to do different things in my field of expertise and also car things. I want to be able to make over 700 horsepower in my Corvette, which is very doable. It's just expensive. Also possibly skydiving. Thing is, I have like the energy to go do some crazy shit, honestly, so I wouldn't mind skydiving, scuba diving. Possibly if I'm on my deathbed, just skydiving straight into my grave. I think that'd be a good one.
I mean,
Oh my God. Oh boy.
you want to end it on a flop, that's definitely going to be one of them.
Oh my.
A huge flop.
That's a huge flop. Apparently, your mind kind of passes out when you're just about to hit the floor, I've been told. It's really odd. It feels like your mind kind of shuts down like a computer to save itself. It's kind of weird. It's very odd.
Gonna reboot, Ben.
Yeah, you'll reboot in the afterlife. So, I mean, it does work. So, me personally, I've actually accomplished quite a few things on my bucket list, but I think there's 3 things I haven't done yet. One is I would like to be a dad. That's I've mentioned this quite a few times on the podcast, on the episodes, but being a father is something I would like to do, to become, actually. I would love to fly a plane. I have my paramotor license, but it is not a plane. It is an aircraft, but it's not like a typical plane with a yoke and steering and flaps and ailerons. So that's one thing I'd love to do. But the other thing is I would like to build and make the equivalent of a flying motorcycle. Basically like a drone mixed with a plane. The thing is, there's already people that beat me to it, so I'm kind of disappointed by that. But I mean, as manufacturing, 3D printing, CNC machining becomes more and more affordable, it's something I'm sure I'm going to be able to do in my backyard, and battery technologies as well. So on the top of my head, like that, I think these are the 3 things left I need to do in my bucket list. I'll mention, we're going to talk more later about stuff that we've accomplished. You're going to see that list is a lot longer than this one. What about you, Sakura?
Some of the things on my bucket list, actually, I'm a fairly not interesting person. Like, my big thing is, I want to go either visit Japan or move back to Japan, because that's actually where I was born. So whether it be, like I said, either move there or visit there, I want to spend at least a month reintegrating back into the culture. Actually, I found 2 things on my bucket list that I really wanted to do, and actually they were fairly recently. Number 1, I want to go visit the house from the movie Short Circuit. It's in Astoria, Oregon. It's right off of the bridge, and the house is actually owned by a short circuit enthusiast. It has been restored, and the guy who lives there encourages people who love the movie to come visit the house, take pictures, and he's even talked about turning it into a bed and breakfast. So it'd be really awesome. Freaking cool to like get to stay at the main house where the movie took place, and I geek out so hard when I think about it.
Imagine he has one of those like Johnny Five come up serve you a plate for breakfast, like remote control. How cool that would be. That'd be awesome.
I would just die happily right there. That would just be, I'd be like, my whole life, it's accomplished. This is exactly what I wanted. Another place that I would love to go visit is, do you remember in the original Power Rangers, the command center? I don't know if any of you guys saw the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That is a real place in California called House of the Book. It's located in California, and I want to see the command center. Like, the inside of it's not going to look anything like it did in the TV show, but the exterior of the building is all there, unmolested, and it looks really cool in pictures. So I want to go visit House of the Book one of these days.
That's cool.
I might want
Another-
to add.
into Power Rangers. I'm just a big kid. Power Rangers are still good
Yes.
to me.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go.
I just remembered a few more things I want to do. I would love also to travel and explore the world a little bit more. I've always been fascinated by cultures, languages, environments, beautiful places to go. I'd love to discover Europe a little bit more. I'd love to go to Japan as well. But another thing I want to do is I've realized over the years, my sister and I, we kind of separated when we were children, but when we became older, we kind of reconnected. And I've realized that we both have passion for anything that touches plane and aeronautics. And she actually got her skydiving license. She can skydive on her own. I got my paramotor license. And what we want to do this summer is she wants to learn how to paramotor. So I would love to fly with my sister. And she's going to pay me my license to become a skydiver. And we're going to skydive together. That is the next thing I really want to do. I think it's going to be freaking awesome. I've skydiving. I've done a skydive before, and it was the most amazing feeling ever. It's really weird because I was on the edge of the plane. I was like, hell yeah, this is going to be really great. This is going to be awesome. My cousin next to me was like, oh my God, I can't freaking believe I'm going to jump off a plane. It's like the reaction were so opposite. It was crazy. But yeah, I just thought of these, and I thought, like, you know, you were talking about, you know, doing stuff that's exciting, you know, adrenaline and stuff. But also I'd like to make my own video game at some point. I'm currently working on a visual novel, and I think that would be a fun life achievement to, you know, put on my life resume. We'll say that. I think that'd be cool.
I'd also like to own my dream car someday too. That's on my bucket list. I wasn't done answering.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. I'm so sorry.
No.
What's your dream car?
What is your dream car?
Contrary to what you might think, the 1981 DMC DeLorean.
Oh my God, yes. I saw one the other day. They're so cool.
They're just expensive
But
as shit.
without-
Just...
Without all of the Back to the Future crap on it, though, like, as a car, it is very aesthetically pleasing, and I love every bit of it.
thing is, there's
These
a very
cars-
expensive one.
Yeah, a little bit, but the
They
nice
are
thing is the DeLorean has actually went back into production a few years ago, and there are still repair facilities and, like, I guess factories for the parts in California, Texas, and Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Yes, because the new one they're coming out with is going to be completely electric.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the new ones.
Yeah, unfortunately that's where we're going. The ICE engine, as people like to call them, is going away. I'll give Kia and Hyundai this. They make their cars look like cyberpunk cars, and I'm all for it.
They look cool.
Now, we've got
Project
dueling
74
fingers
looks
here.
really cool.
Who wants it?
Just remind-
Got
Go ahead.
dueling fingers.
You just reminded me. I thought of you, Whiplash. I saw a classic Corvette in town the other day. Like, it had one of those weird shaped round bodies, but the vanity plate said Prius.
Yeah.
I was just taking a drink. I almost spit it everywhere.
To be honest, I mean, Corvette owners usually have some pretty interesting tags, to be fair. There's like one in the C7 group I'm in, one of them said third child.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Are you okay, Stream? Are you recovered?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, my throat is kind of dry. I'm going to take a little drink, you know? You shoot that thing. Like, just try to contain it. Not spit on my lip tracker.
God, you know, that's actually... It's not a bad idea, though.
Alright, Stream, tell us some of the things that you have completed off your bucket list. You said this one was going to be a lot bigger.
Oh, yeah, I hope you're ready to sit
Yeah,
down.
Scream, why don't you go ahead with this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Start your
when I
novel
was
real
a
quick.
kid, yeah, okay, I hope you guys
Now,
are.
remember,
are
we only
ready,
have
'cause
an hour
take a sip.
here. Just remember.
I know. I'll try to make it short under 5. I'll try to do it under 30 minutes. It'll be fine. It's gonna be less.
Oh my god.
So when I was a kid, when I learned about bucket lists, I almost like immediately started to set life goals for me. So one of them was to find a job that was fulfilling, paid decently enough, and that didn't bring me any sort of stress to a minimal amount. which I've done. I'm a security system technician. I have my company truck and I travel from client to client. It's amazing. I love it. I've been doing it for 11 years. It's fantastic. I wanted to find the love of my life, and I didn't plan to get married, but my husband presented some solid argument, and I ended up going with it to the point that I was the one that cried the most on my wedding. And I proposed, and it was the most amazing thing in my life. I wanted to get my own house. I wanted to get a dog, which I've done both of these. Now, the next thing I want to do is, like I said, get a children of my own, and maybe make my own flying machine. But these were a few things I wanted to do. I wanted to be a pilot, which I've achieved. Being able to fly my paramotor whenever I want, almost whenever I want, wherever I want, is quite something. It was something I inspired to do for a very long time. I would love to fly in a plane just as if I would like to drive a certain car. It's the same reason. Flying itself, I've done that, but just flying an airplane would be great. I would say skydiving was also one of them, and it's an amazing experience. You realize how small we are on this world. When you're on top of that plane and you're about to jump down, that initial 0 to 200 kilometers acceleration is super intense, and your heart will stay up there while you're going down. But as soon as your speed stays constant, then you don't feel that acceleration, and you're just floating and you're just vibing. You're just chilling, and it's super fun. It's super relaxing. As weird as it sounds, it is kind of relaxing. You don't think about life. You don't think about stress, work, anything at all. Right now, on the top of my mind, like this, I think I got pretty much covered. Starting a business was not something I would expect to do, nor enjoy as much. So being the owner of my business, which I can't talk because it's adult rated, but it's been very fulfilling and very fun. Also, doing a bit of narration was something I've kind of thought of doing, and I'm doing with my sister's TV show. And Beyond This Podcast has been an absolute blessing to be able to be part of this and be able to, have these discussions with you guys. I'm very grateful for what's happening. So I'm glad to say that I've got most of my bucket list done, at least halfway done. So that's good.
That's a lot. You weren't kidding.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. I have not started working on my bucket list yet. Mine, at least in terms of the things that I want to do, cost a lot of money, and I don't got a lot of money. So
yeah,
it's gonna end up being an accumulating thing where I want to say in the next probably 3 to 5 years, I'd really like to start working on stuff on my bucket list. I want to be able to go travel. Actually, I know later this year I was planning on making a trip to the West Coast, and the friends that I was with were talking about going to Astoria to go visit the Stephanie's house from Short Circuit. So I may be able to do that one this year. Crossing fingers, hopes and dreams, hoping that'll happen. But it is my goal sooner than later to begin, because, well, mortality's starting to creep into my thoughts, and I'm like, I got to get stuff done. I don't want to leave here unaccomplished.
Okay, Jet.
Oh my God, just adorable.
Yeah, he wants to go outside. You go ahead, Whiplash. Ow! Ow!
Oh my God. I mean, I've already accomplished a few on my bucket list, to be honest. A few of them being cars, mainly, as we know. But the Corvette wasn't the first one that was my bucket list, right? I had, God, was it 4 or 5 years ago now? 5, 6? I can't remember now. 5 years ago, I had a Honda S2000, and that was one of my dream cars I always wanted. And I got it. And then I kept it for 2.5 years, and then I sold it, and I regret that every day of my life for doing that. But since then, the C5, or first Corvette I got, and then the second Corvette I got, has been my other dream cars I've wanted. So, technically, a couple bucket lists has been, marked off. Going to different furry cons across the nation has been like another list, but technically, it wasn't just the cons themselves. I wanted to go to different cities in America to actually explore. So technically I've been exploring America while doing these cons at the same time. I need to go back to college to finish my degrees. I would love to get my bachelor's in mechanical engineering and electrical engineering, because at the moment I have a associate's in mechanical. So, and you can't really do much with associates. So I need to go back and finish that up. I really want to actually do what I want to do, which is mechanical work. I have that passion for it like you do. It's just a pain in the ass. But still. My other thing was, like, I do live with, like, friends at the moment, like, when it comes to a house. But it's one of those households where it's, like, I know the people I live with, but it's not really, like, you don't vibe with the people you're with. Like, and the people I'm moving in with this next month, or actually this month, is people I've known for a decade at this point. And I'm always having a fun time with them. So moving in with them is going to be probably another mark off the list, honestly. Because I enjoy having friends, I just don't want a relationship. That's just one thing, for me at least. I've seen too much crap in this fandom.
Understatement.
I hope your roommate will be as clean as you are, because that might create a slight issue.
Wait, what? Clean?
So in a previous episode, you said that you're somebody that you were like, you love cleaning, making sure your place is nice and tidy. Now, my previous experience with roommates is that they were not as clean and tidy as I was, and it did create some friction. So I wish you the best on that journey, and I hope that, you know, they're just as, you know, what is the correct word for this? Put a lot of, you know, keeping a nice and clean environment is important to them as much as it is important to you.
Yes. So they're fine, but they're gonna need some training. Also, I was gonna say the thing too about me saying the dating thing. Yeah, it just really depends. I've just seen a lot of crap in this fandom, or you've seen how online furries are. It's ridiculous what happens. It kind of pushes me away from that. It like, every time I see it on like Twitter or on here, I'm like, maybe being single isn't too bad.
You know, that is actually, I completely forgot, that's actually something else that's on my bucket list that you just reminded me of. One of the things I actually really want to do is get remarried again someday. I would like to find somebody to spend the rest of my life with, get, you know, married, go see the world, get to experience all of the things that I want to experience. We saw your background today of you and your husband walking through the mountains of Spain, which I thought was absolutely incredible. And I want to share that with somebody. I want to share these experiences with somebody. So definitely I want to find somebody to date, somebody to marry, and, you know, as they say, grow old and die together.
You know, that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to find the love of my life and get married. That movie Up, I cannot watch the beginning. I simply cannot, because I get so emotional, because that's exactly what I want to happen. I want to grow old. I'm not scared of turning 40, 50, 60, 70, because I have a fantastic husband that is amazing. He's handsome, and I don't care about age. So it is something truly beautiful, and I honestly wish you find somebody, because you're truly a sweet person, and it's great to have you on the team. We appreciate you a lot.
Thank you.
He's our podcast mama, by the way. She's our podcast mama. Yes. He takes good care of us.
Thank you, guys.
Stop looking.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going through the breakup right now, and I'm just going to take some me time for a little bit, and whatever happens, happens.
Yes.
Can I tell you what happened with me, how I found my husband? I'm going to go sidetrack a tiny little bit, but I was trying to find somebody on dating sites, and I was posting in my bio that I wanted something serious. Now, for some reason, I kept getting people that wanted one-night stands, and I just gave up on it. I completely gave up on dating sites, but I was like, if I want to find somebody, I need to put myself out there. So I went to parties, I hung out with friends, and hell, I went to a furry convention in Toronto, and that's how I found my husband. At first we were both in relationships, but I felt a connection with this guy. I didn't know what it was at first, but as we became friends, we realized that was something more coming up. And, you know, things in life just happened on their own, and we ended up being together, and it's been 10 years now, married for 7. So that's a good thing to do it.
Well, we have FWA coming up. Who knows what'll happen?
Who knows? Who knows? You got to put yourself out there. Life has a lot of surprises for you, but you got to put yourself out there. Otherwise, those opportunities won't come to you.
I, for fun, like 3 weeks ago, put myself on Grindr because I never did it before, just to see what would happen. I wasn't being serious about anything. I wanted to see what would happen, and lo and behold, it never disappointed. But to be fair, there's like a lot of old people too. No. Okay, let's go.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and be alerted for new episodes coming out. Follow us on our audio platforms and give us a rating. That'll help us out a lot. And join our Discord and Telegram chat. The links for all of these are in our link tree down below. That way you can stay up to date on any new announcements and even our community events that I organize for us.
Well, we just lost Whiplash. I think he crashed.
Oh, I look away for 2 seconds and wait, what?
Yeah, he's gone.
Crap.
He pooped. All right,
bye, Whip.
calling all of our Top Dogs fan. You want some cool stuff or just want to show us your support? You can by subscribing to our server subscription on Discord or Patreon. Become a podcast supporter today to get exclusive, raw, and uncut footage of your favorite podcast episodes, join supporter meetups, and chat with the podcast team and other podcast supporters. Plus, get access to our brand new After Dog podcast, an 18-plus podcast starring the Top Dogs team members with a $2.99 a month subscription. But wait, there's more. Upgrade to the Podcast Supporter Plus and get episode voting, supported feedback, and be part of the live audience for $5.99 a month. Plus, get sneak peeks of upcoming ideas, merchandising, and more. You don't have to join these subscriptions, but it does help us out a lot. And for everyone that has subscribed, thank you so much, so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh, there he is.
If you don't, come join our subscription or subscribe to us. I'm gonna take your bucket list. I'm gonna put it in some fryer oil. I'm gonna eat this shit. All I did was just minimize myself. You know that, right?
Oh, really? We thought you disconnected.
Yeah, 1 second here. 1 second. I just did this right here.
It just disappears. He's tiny. You tricked us. You tricked all of us. Tiny Whiplash. A little bit of chaos doesn't never hurt anybody.
Nope. Alright.
It's time for the question of the week, right?
Yeah, so
Yes,
I
question
asked our
time.
listeners to tell us something they've got on their bucket list. Here's someone we haven't heard from in a while. As Shameless. Shameless says he wants to pull a repeat of his stupidity from last year at FWA, but this year he wants to pull up in a Rolls Royce instead of the Bentley.
Oh my god.
That's ambitious.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it last year. I was like, dang, I would love to sit in that car just for fun.
He also says he wants to visit the Sanctuary of Truth Temple in Thailand.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That'd be interesting.
Good choice.
Our bucket lists always evolve over time, right? Things come and goes, and I don't remember which one marked which. I would say probably my sister skydiving, seeing her get her license and do the training, it really inspired me. That is the most recent thing I can remember. Because skydiving is an absolutely amazing feeling. I highly recommend it, at least once in your life.
I mean, just like you said, to be fair, bucket lists come and go because sometimes you lose interest in something and you're like, don't really want to try that anymore. But you always will gain interest, and then there's some that will never go away until you actually do it. Just like how I am with cars. Cars have always been like my thing since I was a child, so I'll always have and will always have a bucket list for vehicles. But new things come and go, like especially when we grow up. Like I'm not sure if a kid you can have a bucket list, possibly, maybe. I don't know, who knows. But I always like aviation. To be fair, I've had like some. I've never talked about it too much. I've had some want for aviation, and kind of wanted to go actually be like a commercial pilot, because I actually do like flying. I've been on too many plane flights. I actually enjoy being on them. I would like to fly the plane though, but it's just too much like in my life to be able to just go like, all right, let me try for this. So that's kind of one thing I can't really put on my bucket list, because I have other things I want to do first, or actually try to make my way up that ladder to it.
I know you can
definitely. Oh, sorry.
To finish what you were saying, Whiplash, there are places, flight school, when you can be like a 1-day student or a 2-day student, where you can actually pilot a small aircraft like a Cessna 152 or a Piper Cherokee, and they teach you, like, you spend a whole day there, and at the end of the day they will make you take off and land a small aircraft. There's going to be a an instructor next to you that is going to guide you through the process, but it could be a very cheap and easy way to get that thing off your bucket list if you ever want to try it one day. I'm seriously considering doing it.
I have to try it. I know, like, where I live at is like the you know the Blue Angels?
Yes,
that's where I live at is where the Blue Angels like reside at. That's where they were started at. We have NAS is where they're actually at. So I can't remember what it's called, but they reside in Pensacola, Florida, and that's where they started at. Every year, every few like weekends, especially during like spring, summer, and like fall, there's just a Blue Angel show, like on the beach in the Air Force Base. I'm sure they probably, well, I don't know, it's Air Force Base? I don't know. I have to look something up. I'm sure there's something around here that has like flight training schools, because there's lots of small aircraft or airstrips around here.
So with this question being, has anybody else's bucket lists influenced our own? I would definitely say my friends. You're not wrong. Playing with Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars since I was a kid has definitely, and watching movies too has, influenced my bucket list a lot. You see all these wonderful places, you see all these beautiful cultures, and in addition to that, my friends have also played a really big part in a lot of the things that I want to do before I go. They talk about wanting to see the world, they talk about traveling, they want to talk about owning things and having experiences, and watching the passion that they have for a lot of these things in their lives really kind of jazzes me up and makes me want to make sure that I accomplish these things, because it's even the people who have accomplished things, the things that they've done in their lives, watching even people that I don't know, watching them accomplish things that I look at them and I'm like, it might actually be cool to try that someday. I might want to actually consider doing that. And then I reflect my bucket list and I'm like, I think that would be a good thing to add on there, because I might want to have that experience in my own life. So I would definitely say, like, especially in regards to this, that absolutely people have influenced my bucket list.
Another thing, this is a guarantee right here. I'm pretty sure we've all felt this when we were younger, but nothing makes you feel more like you could be an architect designer or just structural designer for buildings more than building Legos when you're a kid.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Because
actually, I did it with playing cards. I did that with playing cards because we couldn't afford Legos.
Too fair, that's hard. Too fair. Yeah, that's hard. Too fair though, like, I honestly, when I was in school, I actually really wanted to be an architect designer, but I took geometry and I was like, no, hell no. Like, I am great at math, but geometry, I can't. I can't do that crap. I can't do the squares and circles and triangles and the division by those. It's just too much for me. Like, algebra and all that was nothing for me. Go ahead.
I slept through geometry. still made it.
Bruh, I for me to pass that class, like on the very last like 2 weeks of school, I had to do 300 questions for homework.
Oof.
It was such an easy subject for me for some reason. I'm listening to you speak and I kind of feel bad. I feel like
it's like chemistry. Like chemistry was easy for me. Like chemistry and algebra and I can't remember now. What's like the hardest like version of that?
Biology.
In high school. No, biology is easy too. Physics was easy for me too. Can't remember what it was called. I'm just good at math, just not geometry. Geometry was like the worst thing I ever took in my life.
So when should you start working your bucket list? I mean, Stream, obviously you've already started on yours. We already know. You've got half of yours done.
I think there is no certain time when you actually should start a bucket list. I think whenever you're ready to begin one, or whenever you're actually, depends on what your age is. I mean, honestly, we all started our bucket list at different ages. We can start one as, someone who's in high school, someone who just got out of high school. I mean, I feel like you don't need a certain time or year to begin one. It's just whenever you're ready to do it, and when you're ready to feel like you can proceed with that bucket list that you made up.
And that's very true. Exactly, as Whiplash has said, starting the bucket list and getting through your bucket list, there is no time. They are goals that you want to reach. They are things you want to do. They are experiences you want to have. So time, money, position, when you feel like you're at a good point in your life to not only add stuff to the bucket list, but start accomplishing things, that's when you go ahead and do it. For me, it's one of those things where, like, I don't sit on them forever because, for all we know, today might be my last day. And, there are things that, I still want to accomplish, but at the same time, I still look at, the bucket list objectively, like, I could begin things right now. I could begin them tomorrow. I can begin them pretty much whenever, as long as I am able to do those things and can afford them and can have the time. Like, don't put yourselves out. Don't overspend your finances just to finish your bucket list. Do not, by any stretch of the imagination, do that.
Yeah, don't do what Y2K people did.
It's very true. Honestly, to me, a bucket list, start as soon as possible. Whenever you feel like it's a good time, just go for it. And it's really easy to put off tomorrow, but if you do it too much, like without even you notice, it's going to be 10 years and you still haven't done anything. So what I've been told from personal experience is that it's good that you set up a time goal. So my husband and I, my personal time goal is that he becomes a father when he turns 42. And if you put out this energy out there in the universe, it's more likely for it to happen, for the simple reason that you're going to start looking for opportunities to make that happen. Because if you just keep putting off for tomorrow, and you don't know if something's going to happen tomorrow. You might end up in a car accident. You might get diagnosed with something that you might, your lifespan might be a lot shorter than you expected. So this is why I believe that you should make the most out of life. And if you feel like you could do something now, go for it, but don't burn yourself out either. But it has to come naturally. Just go with the vibe, trust life, but make sure that you're putting out this energy and be aware of these life-changing opportunities that are being offered to you. That's going to make a huge difference. And this is probably one of the reasons why I'm 32 and I'm already halfway through my bucket list. It's exactly for those reasons, which I all learned when I got out of my depression when I was 14. Or 13, actually.
Okay, but how do you prioritize your bucket list?
Whatever comes first. It's hard to prioritize some things, but like for mine, I had steps. Was find a career, get a house, get somebody I love, marry that person, get a house together, and then get a child. So I'm just following through those processes. So for me, I have a few goals that I want to reach. So it's really easy to keep order because I just go through them in order. But to be like get my skydiving license or fly an aircraft, like you were mentioning, I would have to actually look for it. Now, financially, we're a bit tight, but I'm always keeping in mind the opportunities. And my sister actually offered me an opportunity to get my skydiving license. So I'm definitely going for it, and I'm not canceling it out. Go ahead, Whiplash.
What do you got?
So, a bucket list doesn't have to be about financial stability or like going somewhere extravagant or buying something expensive. It also can be about your self-imaging, making yourself better. Like if you are in a bad mindset, honestly, getting yourself out of that is honestly a top tier bucket list right there. Also, if you're not enjoying the way you feel about yourself, like maybe if you're overweight like I was back in the day, I went to the gym. To be fair, that wasn't a bucket list at the time, but the more I think about it, it was definitely something that helped me feel better, made me get more active, made me actually achieve more bucket lists because of what I was able to do. It made me feel better, made me gain more energy to actually want to go out and achieve more because you have more positive mindset to actually go out and achieve what you want.
These are super wise words. We didn't even bring that up, but self-improvement is something that can be on your bucket list as well. That's really cool, Whiplash. I like what you said.
And along the lines of like what both of you guys have been saying, especially, when he asked you the question of, how do you prioritize your bucket list? I mean, really, when time permits, when money permits, when you're in a position to start working on things, it's like I mentioned before, you don't have to rush through it. When you are prepared to start knocking those things off of your bucket list, when you're in a position to, maybe start with something on the cheaper side because that's what you can afford at the time, or you're in a position to go skydiving, for example. Like you've got everything lined up for it. You've got the licenses, you've got the money to do it, you've got a group who wants to go with you. That's when you net one off of your bucket list. So for me, it's really not a 1, 2, 3 ABC kind of thing. It's when you're able to get to that one, that's when you knock it out.
I do want to add one more thing. Please, when you do have a bucket list and you have something that's expensive, please listen to us and listen to me. Do not have to go into debt to finish your bucket list or do what you want to achieve on your bucket list. Because if I could go back in time and slap my past self in the face as hard as I can for getting a debit or a credit card and then going shit crazy with it, I would absolutely do that. Because I've been paying that credit card off for a while now. It's almost done, but the fact is, this was like 7 years ago. Here's the thing is, don't ever get a credit card, honestly, because it's a dangerous thing. If you want to increase credit, get a car. Just to build your credit on that. Credit cards are dangerous. They are dangerous.
All of us.
And kind of on a last note with that too, the thing to remember is if you do build yourself up into debt and you start a family, the thing that you have to remember is that your debts are going to move on to beyond the grave, and your family is going to have to start paying that. So exactly like we've all said, don't put yourself into such a financial burden finishing your bucket list, because those will haunt much after you move on.
This is false.
Correction. This is false. I have life insurance that covers me. I have mortgage insurance, and the laws in Canada are slightly different compared to the States concerning that. So I'm actually not too scared. Actually, yeah. The thing is, you should die, in theory, you should die poor. That means that all the time you spend making that money, you've used it to fulfill your life and go through all your life achievements and stuff you wanted to do, travel, live new experiences. Yes, you can leave some money for the your loved ones and everything, but in true honesty, you should use that money that you've earned to treat yourself all the way to the end.
So that actually brings us to our next question about how important it is to finish your bucket.
See, to be fair, it just really depends how much you really actually want to achieve a bucket list? Like, is it something that you are just straight on doing? Like, do you want to do this before something happens to you? Because the thing is about going the bad side of the subject, but the thing about death is you don't know when you're gonna die. You don't know if you're gonna die of natural causes. You don't know if you're gonna die of possibly a disease, or if you get into a car accident, plane crash. There's so many things out there that can technically put your life into end that you don't know when to actually finish your bucket list, because a bucket list can go on throughout the entirety of your life. Like, you want to achieve things slowly or you want to achieve things quickly. It's just kind of hard to whenever you actually can finish it. Like, if you feel like you're not going to live that long, then try to do your bucket list as quick as you can, but still stay financially well. Don't get yourself into debt. Take it slow if you think you can.
A bucket list, in my personal opinion, is a reminder to enjoy your life. It is it is something to look at that tells you that you have things that you want to see, you have things you want to do, you have things that you want to accomplish. But again, it's just that it's a reminder to enjoy the life that you have. It is so in my opinion, it's not super important that you get it done before you die, but to use it as a guideline to keep yourself moving forward and to love your life, to enjoy things, to experience things. And we can sometimes get it in our heads that, oh, I don't know what I want to do tomorrow, or I'm bored right now, or, you know, what am I going to do with myself a year from now? We can refer to that list and we can be like, oh, hey, that's right. I wanted to, you know, go to a car meet. I wanted to go get my pilot's license. You know, I wanted to go visit Japan. And I can refer to that list and be like, you know what? That seems like that'd be something good to do. And I'm going to get to enjoy my life while doing that. And that's what it's all about.
Oh my God. I mean, it depends so much for everybody, because some people are really content with just going like a 9-to-5 job, doing the same thing over and over, and they're probably perfectly content about that. But some people, they look for their meaning in life, and they don't necessarily have everything they want, but having a bucket list kind of makes it up for it and makes life exciting. Now, the more you can do, the better. You have to tell yourself that, like, if I would pass away tomorrow, would I be satisfied with the life that I've been through, with the life and the experience I've lived with, you know? And also, that's me, but I keep asking myself, I'm like, have I done everything that I want to be remembered for? Have I done the right things for my friends and family? Do I have any sorts of regret? Do I regret not traveling enough, or not trying this thing, or trying this food, or traveling? I would love to go to Japan, by the way. It sounds amazing. I would love to go that, but I would feel really guilty and bad if I don't get to go to Japan at some time in my life. So, at the same time, don't rush things. I'm just 32 and I'm realizing this, but I don't know if you guys remember, but when you were kids, every single day was so goddamn long. And now you hit your 20s and you're 30 and you feel like a week has gone by in like 2 days. I feel like our perception of time is a fixed container, and every year you're squeezing one more year in it. So everything kind of compresses down and everything looks kind of smaller. So make the most out of it. Have fun, enjoy it, but don't ruin yourself. But at the same time, we're never ready to be parents. We're never ready for certain things, and sometimes you just gotta go with the flow.
But what you're saying is I need to actually make a bucket list.
Absolutely. Make a bucket list. It's gonna make life fun and exciting. Trust me, it is. Now, Jet, what's the
start off small?
You'll wait.
I would say start
small,
though, at least.
Small things.
Yeah, like make your own plate design that no one else has made yet.
I mean, you can take it like, any adventure games. You can have your main quest and your side quests. Same thing with a bucket list. Mm-hmm. Literally the same thing. My big quest is being a father. My side quest is... Yeah. Well, to me, like, being a father is my main quest. Pilot a plane or do skydiving, that's a side quest. I would love to. Traveling is a side quest. But there's core things that I want to get done, and there's side things that I would love to get done, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Bungee jumping is definitely something I would like to try, but if it doesn't happen, so be it.
Bet we could find some place to go bungee jumping at FWA.
Hell yeah.
I'll pass on that.
Oh my god.
My sister's an adrenaline junkie just like I am. So it's good. It's always interesting when she has ideas. I love it.
So do you think it's important to help other people accomplish things on their bucket list?
In my opinion, I would say that having a companion, like I said to you guys before, I want to find somebody to marry. I want to find somebody to have, life experiences with. I want somebody to travel with. And having that other person with you to experience the things in your life, because who knows, for all I know, that my partner or say Kit and I are out together one time and we both find something that, coincides with, our bucket lists, because yes, you're building one after this episode. But to help somebody finish something on... Yes. So the thing that we have to remember is, we're on this journey together. And to have somebody there to experience things with, to help people, go through their bucket list, and like the point that I made before, remind somebody that we only have this one life to live. Let's spend this together. Let's do this thing together. Let's have fun together. And I do think that it is very important to, have somebody with you to, go through these buckets. Nobody wants to travel alone. Nobody wants to jump out of a plane alone. Nobody wants to do things alone. So whether it be, a partner, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, absolutely, find you somebody that you can do, things off of both of your bucket lists and just really enjoy life.
That's very true. I know there's some people that might be very introverted to do some things on their bucket list. So if you do notice people that are like that, just go ahead, and if you can help them, you should go for it. I know my husband has a few things he wants to do, but he's kind of shy on certain things. So I'm keeping an ear out for opportunities for him, and as soon as I see it, I try to guide him towards the process. If you have friends like this that are kind of like that or in a similar situation, or they want to do something, and then on your side you hear something like, dude, I just heard this thing, you gotta try it, go contact this person, and they might make it happen. You never know. So being aware of your friend's bucket list could be a fun thing. Sweet, you don't have to, but it's another way to show your friend that you care about them. And if you can actually realize when their bucket list, you're gonna be the best friend ever. So that's a good thing.
So I just remembered, actually. So the friends I'm moving in with. So two of my friends, they've been dating on and off for about 4 years now. Technically, they've been dating for the past year, and I think about almost 2 years. And what he told, or one of my friends told me that what he wants me to do, or what he wants to do, is since we're all Corvette people, because all of us have Corvettes. He wants to actually go up to where the Corvette plant is up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Go to the Corvette Museum, and we're going to take all our Corvettes up there, have a fun trip going from here to Tennessee to Kentucky and back. He wants to actually propose to his girlfriend up there.
Aww.
In the Corvette plant. So I actually want to help him do that. Because technically, it's not this year thing, maybe a next year thing, or the year afterward thing. Been helping him plan, maybe we can get a cabin in Tennessee along the way, and then just stop at a couple hotels along to Kentucky. Been helping him plan that route out for the past 2-3 months. So honestly, love to see it come into fruition. But yes, helping friends out is a good way to get your bucket list done if yours includes friends, or help your friends out.
Very true.
Anybody else with any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
It's hard finding good friends in this fandom.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's not always easy. A lot of people, they consider each other friends, but actually what they are acquaintances. But people get emotionally attached really quickly, so actually your best friends are actually the one you're gonna have arguments and fight over with. I had a resolution this year. I had a beef with somebody in the past, and we actually just resolved and talked about it and discussed it like adults, and he's actually been contributing to the podcast. So it's keep an open mind about things and opportunities, and life can be very surprising, but again, if you stay behind a keyboard or a phone all day, there's not a lot of stuff that's going to happen to you. Go out there, make some friends, and the best way to make some friends actually outside of the fandom is just go to the same place over and over and over, like going to the gym, going to the same restaurant, going to that same arcade. Eventually you'll see that some people come back all the time, and you'll make friends that way. That's why we had friends when we were in school. It's because we kept going to the same place over and over again. But we don't do that as adults anymore. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Well, I mean, all of us here. That's why all of us here in the podcast are good friends. I would say, at least.
Oh yeah.
At this point, we've known each other for what? I feel like it's been like a year and a half, 2 years now. It's gone by
about a year and a half for me.
Yeah.
It's gone by so quick.
I mean,
man,
there's a lot of people just on my Discord. Kit is almost there every single day. Lazarus pops in and out. Zembos pops in and out. Trick is there very often as well. So it's fun because we still hang out outside of the podcast, and it's fun to see each other, and we get to know each other a little bit more. And who knows, maybe Kit will come up with something on his bucket list, and I'll know a few contacts that I can direct towards him so that he gets that bucket list done. Who knows? The world is full of contacts and opportunities, so yeah, you never know. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for listening. We had an absolute blast. I hope you guys had a good time listening to this. I thought that has also bring you some inspiration and ideas on things you want to do. Maybe reconsider some life goals you had that you probably have forgiven or tossed aside, but maybe you want to bring it back. Who knows? Thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening, and you guys have a fantastic day, and enjoy life. Make the most out of it.
Have a good night.
Bye bye. Bonne nuit, mon ami. Oh, baguette.
Bye, everybody. Bye bye.
And that's
all right. That's a wrap.
Oh, baguette croissant. It's just like. Oh my god, that episode was so good. Son of
That episode was poggers, y'all. Just have one little criticism. It was lacking me.
Oh my god.